Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into probably the most talked about technology right now, artificial intelligence. Is it this amazing breakthrough that's going to, lift humanity up? Or are we actually playing with fire here, risking, well, everything, our jobs, our economies, maybe even our grip on reality? We've gone through a whole stack of sources, articles, detailed reports, research papers, all trying to figure out this duality. And the first thing that jumps out isn't that AI is coming. It's already here, deeply embedded. I mean, it's the hidden engine behind things you use every day. Your voice assistant, Siri or Alexa, the way Netflix or YouTube just knows what you want to watch next. It feels like magic sometimes, but it's algorithms. So our mission today is pretty straightforward. Cut through the noise, synthesize this material, and give you a clear picture. What are the real opportunities? And just as importantly, where are the serious risks hiding as AI gets, well, everywhere?
Yeah. And looking through all this, what's striking is the consensus. AI isn't some niche experiment anymore. It's a fundamentally powerful set of tools. And, with great power comes, well, the need to be really careful. We have to scrutinize how these systems are built, definitely, but crucially, how they're used. Because that's what really decides if it's a net positive or something else.
Okay, let's start with the good side then. The blessings, you could say. Automation, new insights. The sources really emphasize AI's potential to just overhaul entire sectors, making things more efficient, yes, but also more accessible, and sometimes literally saving lives.
I think healthcare is maybe the most powerful, immediate example of that.
Oh, absolutely. The reports are full of examples of AI acting like a super assistant for doctors, not replacing them, not yet anyway, but augmenting their skills, making diagnoses sharper. There was this one fascinating study, Google's DeepMind, I think. It showed AI could spot certain eye diseases, and even some cancers earlier than doctors could using traditional methods.
Right. And that earlier is the critical word there. It means medicine can become more predictive, less reactive. That's a huge shift.
Huge.
And that idea, shifting from reaction to prediction, it applies everywhere. Think about logistics. AI optimizing shipping routes, managing warehouses. It doesn't just save money for companies, it cuts down fuel waste, maybe reduces tedious human labor. Efficiency on a really big scale.
And that same kind of optimization thinking is happening in education too. We saw reports on AI platforms moving beyond that old one-size-fits-all classroom model. Instead, they offer personalized learning. They adapt, in real time to how a specific student is doing. If you're stuck on, say, fractions, the AI can focus right there with you. The data suggests it really boosts understanding.
And then there's the workplace. The general idea, the promise really, is that AI handles the dull stuff, the repetitive tasks, the data entry, the number crunching, which supposedly frees up human workers for the more, creative stuff. Strategy, problem solving. Sounds great, right?
It does sound great.
Yeah.
But I sense a but coming.
Well, yeah. The but is, if AI is taking over routine tasks so humans can focus on higher level thinking, what counts as non-routine keeps changing, doesn't it? I mean, just a few years back, writing decent code or generating a complex image, that was definitely human territory. Now, AI does it, instantly.
Yeah.
So are we really being freed up, or is creativity just the shrinking island of things the machines haven't mastered yet?
That's a really sharp point. The goalposts are constantly moving. Still, the sources are clear. The potential upside, the leverage, it's enormous if we manage the downsides. And speaking of downsides, that seems like the natural place to go next.
Yeah.
Immediate threats, jobs, data privacy, and this huge issue of bias.
Yeah, the job displacement fear, that's probably the loudest alarm bell for most people, I think.
It has to be. You see these advanced AI systems like the large language models, and suddenly tasks we thought were safe, needing human cognition, admin work, paralegal research, even some kinds of analysis, they look vulnerable. The worry isn't just individuals losing jobs. It's the potential for large-scale unemployment. And that could really worsen economic inequality, couldn't it? Especially hitting those whose jobs are already precarious.
And for these systems to even work, they need fuel. And that fuel is data, mountains of it. This massive appetite for data, it's not optional for AI, it's fundamental.
And boom, there's the conflict, right? You need all this data, often very personal data, and immediately you run into huge questions about security, about surveillance. Who's watching? Who's using it? How can it be misused? You want the health benefits, but are you okay handing over your entire medical history? It's tricky.
And all that data collection feeds straight into what might be the most insidious problem, the bias trap.
Yeah, this is where the reading got, frankly, quite unsettling. AI systems, we learned, aren't these objective, neutral decision makers. They're mirrors. They reflect the data we train them on. And if that data is full of historical biases, human biases, the AI doesn't filter it out. It learns it. It amplifies it and then executes it with terrifying efficiency.
Exactly. The AI is just looking for patterns. So if historically, let's say, loan applications from a certain neighborhood were denied more often, maybe because of old redlining practices, completely unfair biases from the past, the AI sees address in neighborhood X correlates with loan denial. It learns that pattern. And it starts automating those denials for new applicants from that same area. Even if the old discriminatory policies are long gone, it basically hard codes our past mistakes.
It fossilizes injustice, essentially, and projects it forward. The sources flag this as a massive risk in really sensitive areas, screening resumes for jobs, deciding on loans, even in law enforcement tools. If we want fairness, we absolutely have to clean up the data before we let the algorithms loose on it.
Because if that data source is tainted, the AI just becomes this incredibly efficient engine for scaling up unfairness.
Okay, so that really sets the stage for the next level of concern, doesn't it? Moving beyond these sort of practical, immediate risks to the deeper, maybe even existential questions about human control, about our future.
Right. This is where it stops being just about tech and starts being about philosophy, about ethics. What decisions are we comfortable handing over? What happens when machines start making choices that touch our core values, maybe even our survival?
Exactly. And it's not just academics worrying. We saw mentions of major global bodies, even the Vatican, raising serious warnings. Concerns about how AI might change human relationships are very sense of existence. And they point to some pretty scary possibilities that aren't science fiction anymore. They're actually being developed.
One huge fear is autonomous weapons. Machines making kill decisions with no human in the loop. That's profound. You take the moral weight off the soldier and put it where? Inside some lines of code. It's deeply troubling. And then there's the other big one. AI-driven fake media. Deepfakes, misinformation generated at scale that could just shatter public trust, destabilize governments, erode our shared sense of what's even real.
Which leads us to the ultimate, maybe furthest out concern. AGI, artificial general intelligence.
Right. AGI, that's the idea of an AI that isn't just good at one thing, like chess or driving, but one that can learn, understand, and apply knowledge across any intellectual task, basically at or beyond human level.
And the fear there is, it's pretty fundamental, isn't it?
Yeah.
Runaway AI scenario. Machines that can improve themselves, rapidly becoming far smarter than we are, making decisions we can't predict, can't control, maybe can't even understand. It forces us to ask, what's humanity's role then, if we're not the smartest beings on the planet anymore?
And beneath all that is the question of control, and maybe even more pointedly, accountability. If a self-driving car causes a fatal accident, or an AI trading system crashes the market, who's responsible? The user, the programmer, the company, the AI itself? I don't have good answers. This lack of clear responsibility for potentially catastrophic decisions, that's what keeps ethicists awake. The decisions are opaque, the impact could be global.
Okay, so we've seen the amazing potential, the efficiency, the insights, and we've seen the really serious risks, bias, surveillance, maybe even losing control. How do we thread this needle? How do we move forward? The sources consistently point towards, well, needing guardrails, regulation, and much more responsible development.
The number one thing, the foundation really, is this call for transparency, or sometimes they call it explainability.
Meaning we can't just have these black boxes making crucial decisions, right? The experts are saying AI systems, especially in high-stakes areas, must be designed so their reasoning can be understood.
Oh.
By the people operating them, sure, but also by the people affected by their decisions. That explainability seems crucial for building any kind of trust and for holding anyone accountable when things go wrong.
Absolutely. And coupled with that is the need for inclusive development. This can't just be built by, a small group of tech bros in Silicon Valley. The argument is strong. AI needs to be designed for the benefit of everyone, all of humanity, which means diverse teams building it, thinking hard about the global impacts, the unintended consequences, before it's released into the wild.
It is somewhat encouraging, I guess, that the sources show governments and international bodies are starting to wake up to this. You see frameworks and regulations starting to emerge, trying to find that balance between letting innovation happen, because the potential benefits are huge, but also putting in ethical guardrails, making sure it serves the public good.
But it's definitely a balancing act, a constant one. And it's dynamic. You can't just halt innovation. The upsides in medicine alone are too compelling. But you absolutely have to anchor that innovation in core human values, protecting rights, ensuring fairness. The problem is regulation always lags behind technology, and that gap, that lag, is where a lot of the danger currently lies.
So wrapping this all up, what we've really uncovered from this deep dive is that AI isn't destiny. It's not inherently good or bad. The research strongly suggests it's a tool, an incredibly powerful one, yes. But like any tool, it reflects the intentions, the values, and the biases and blind spots of the people who build and use it. So harnessing the good parts. It demands vigilance. It demands putting ethics first. It demands transparency and inclusivity. Thanks for joining us for this exploration. Before we sign off, let's circle back to that idea AI serving the public good. We've established AI learns from us, from data, reflects our values. So here's something to chew on. If we as humans across the globe haven't even fully agreed on what constitutes the public good, how can we realistically ensure that the AI we build will truly serve it in an inclusive, equitable way? That's the question to maybe ponder today.